Watch quickly before deleting, as this video is impossible to interpret. Have you ever wondered who the guards or the keepers of the most exciting secrets in the world are? We have heard many stories about NASA, and we know in many situations that they may be dishonest in dealing with the public. That is why they become the topic of today's episode, to bring back individual top-secret content for you. The decision means, first of all, the lost recording tapes. We are perhaps the most famous space flight to this day that is difficult to erase from memory easily. The Apollo 11 trip, in which the Americans set out on the Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin towards the moon, or did they really do it? Perhaps anything the least he knows about space will not make it past this legendary expedition. Finally, the temporal, cultural and dramatic race has reached the moon. They were broadcasting live on TV stations from the cockpit, following the steps of the astronauts. This means that millions of people ever have witnessed these clips. Not so. But in the early 2000s, NASA announced that it had mostly lost the clips. Isn't it somewhat strange for people to lose the tapes that were broadcasting the first journey that changed the course of history? What we do not know is that this institution spends a lot of the US government's treasury on its research, not to mention that it is the kiss of the whole world towards outer space. It means an institution of prestigious importance. Isn't it so confusing for an agency like this to comment on to something important because it just lost it? Secondly, a secret mission to Africa, which is supposed to be the people whom we claim to know or fancy knowing, sending slaves, experiments and planes to Africa to be directed to space later. Not only that, but also advanced technologies. Of course, all of these things are not directly announced. But insiders say this has been happening for at least the past 5 years. Strange, isn't it? Third, a breeding experience. Sometimes some companies such as NASA have to carry out some experimental tasks that they do not usually achieve. This happened in the year 1996, and an experiment was launched. The project was launched from North Africa, where it launched a giant machine longer than 18 kilometers. Bearing in mind that the huge machine will orbit around the Earth and collect energy from the magnetic field of the planet Na, and eventually convert that energy into electricity in the future. The space mission will not provide fuel, but it did not succeed. After only 2 pieces exploded, half of them fell to the ground, while the other half flew into space. The really amazing thing is that the footage that was taken from the device before it was broken was shown several times on the clip, as if it were a strange space model on the film of all shapes and sizes, effectively appearing, and it was moving completely freely into zero-gravity orbit. Is this not strange? Fourth, nuclear weapons go to Mars. Now let's move on to something more exotic. How many of you have heard rumors that people sent nuclear weapons to Mars to sabotage another country? In fact, this happened with 2 strange countries. Many people confirmed that they were already able to see the location of the bombs using giveaway equipment, and that the United States wanted to destroy countries outside Earth's orbit in order to protect Earth from any kind of future quarrels. But what do you think? This theory seems far-fetched. But in the end, it was who had access to the registry, equipment, finance, and mostly secret science that people do. They can tell us almost anything a boss we believe in. We also depend on them to feed the truth, because it is clear that we have no way alone. Fifth, Obama went to Mars. It may end up with other strange things. There are other strong rumors in the space world that former U.S. President Barack Obama went to Mars with certainty. Apparently in the 1989 Obama was enrolled in a space training program in California, and that this program has the ability to instantly transport people to the planet. The Red. If you like today's topic from a channel, do not skimp on our admiration.